Welcome back, teachers and educators. My name is Hilary Romer. I am a geoscientist and educator with the Saskatchewan Mining Association's Education Outreach Program. In the previous video in this series, we unboxed the Potash Kit. These resource kits are provided free to educators and can be ordered online through the SMA website or requested through your school division science consultants. Kits are assembled every summer in collaboration with Saskatchewan potash producing companies and the town of Esterhazy Potash Interpretive Centre. Kits are distributed in early September through school division offices. Potash kits are accompanied by a number of curriculum-correlated lesson plans. You can find links to these lessons and more on the SMA website. In today's video, we'll be exploring some of the introductory lessons. Potash, what is it? Is there potash under my feet? As well as the activity, the healing waters of Manitou. In the first lesson, through a scavenger hunt, learners will explore what is potash, what is it used for, some interesting facts about potash, the impact of potash on their lives, and finally they will discover if there is indeed potash under their feet. Don't worry, the lesson plans include expected student results, so yes, there are answers. The lesson engages learners through a class discussion about their prior knowledge about potash while creating a concept web together as a class. The word potash is in the middle. You may choose to combine the lessons into a web quest by creating one worksheet based off of the questions included in the original lesson plans. You may also choose to create physical stations that students rotate through. For older students, you can create a worksheet to focus their learning, and for younger students, they can use the concept flower organizer that is included. Here are some ideas for resources that can be used for these lessons. SMA's potash poster. The poster highlights what potash is, why it is important, where it is found in the province, and some of the uses of potash. SMA Potash Fact Sheet provides interesting facts about the social, environmental, and economic impacts of the Saskatchewan potash industry on a local and global scale. Mineral Resource Map of Saskatchewan allows learners to locate the areas of potash resources using a colored legend on their own map of Saskatchewan. They can also mark on their own maps where they live and answer if there is potash under their feet. Note that the oil and gas deposits occur in the same area as potash in the west and southeast of the province. They occur in rocks both deeper and shallower than the potash. GeoExplore is a powerful, interactive tool to explore the geological features of Saskatchewan. The website is a digital version of the Geological Highway Map of Saskatchewan and combines photos and information about geoscientific points of interest in the province. I would recommend visiting the Sedimentary Basins tab to learn the story of potash. In addition to the scavenger hunt, there is an activity called the Healing Waters of Manitou. This involves reading the legend of Little Manitou Lake, answering questions, then performing a simple experiment. The activity can be done as a class demo together during a lesson, or separately as a station or as a separate lesson altogether. If you have multiple stations, you may prefer to have learners rotate through them over multiple days. To begin, learners read the legend of Little Manitou Lake, then answer questions based on the story. Next, either as a class or small group discussion, students can answer the accompanying worksheet questions. I would suggest staging it as a PO activity, have learners predict what will happen when both cans are put in the water, create observations and drawings of the experiment, and then explain what happened. For the Healing Waters of Manitou experiment, you'll need 1 can of each Coke, Diet Coke, a half or a third measuring cup, table salt, a large spoon to stir, a sink or plastic bin, or a tank deep enough to be filled with water until both cans are 2 centimeters submerged. Do not have the cans in the water yet. Also note, if doing this as a station, include instructions and make sure learners take the cans out of the water before the next group rotates. Fill your tub with room temperature water and place both cans into the water. Students will observe that the Diet Coke floats, whereas the Coke sinks. Make sure you get out any air bubbles underneath the cans. This is because the Coke with sugar is denser than the Diet Coke with aspartame. Ask the question, is it possible to make both cans float? Hinting that it connects back to the legend students just read and to the location of salt and mineral deposits. Students could record their predictions of how much salt they think would need to be added to the water to make the can of Coke float to the same level as the Diet Coke, then offer a prize at the end to whoever guesses the closest. Then together as a class, you could add the salt to the water in increments, stirring well and recording observations after each measurement is added. Keep adding salt until the Coke floats to the same level as the Diet Coke. What does this tell you about the amount of salt and minerals dissolved in Little Manitou Lake? Roughly 4 cups of water with 1/3 cup of salt will make the Coke can float to the same level as the Diet Coke. If you want to create more suspense, use a tablespoon or smaller increment of measurement to measure the salt out. As you can see, there is lots of flexibility in how you can teach and structure the introductory lessons. Please plan according to your preference. A quick recap for today's video. We discussed some of the introductory potash lessons that can be combined into a scavenger hunt, focusing on what potash is and if it can be found beneath our feet. We explored the resources that you could use to create your scavenger hunt in the form of a web quest or as stations. We also explored and demonstrated the healing waters of Manitou activity. In our next video, we'll be exploring the first lesson in the potash solution mining series called Dissolving Potash. Remember to check out the many free resources that we have available through the SMA website, or you can email us at education@saskmining.ca if you have any questions. Until next time, on behalf of the Saskatchewan Mining Association, remember to stay curious, ask questions, and never stop exploring. Bye.